If you've been feeling the call to write a book, it is no accident. Your book is needed in the world, so let's make it happen. I'm Nicola Humber, and this is the Unbound Writers Club. Hello and welcome to the Unbound Writers Club. Today's episode feels incredibly special because I am joined by someone who has been part of the Unbound writing community right from the beginning, even before the Unbound Press was a thing. Tara Jackson, author of our latest release, Embodied Power, is here with me to have a conversation about birthing her fifth book into the world. 5 books, can you believe that? And an oracle card deck. Like, Tara is somebody, like I said, who I have been holding space for since 2018. And we talk a little bit about that during this conversation and how every book is so different. She's someone I talk about often because she is so inspiring. And in this conversation, we tune into, in particular, like the energetic essence of her latest book, Embodied Power, and why it began as one thing and shapeshifted into something different, how she navigated that. And also, you know, the different things that can come up at different stages of our journey. So whatever part of the process you're in at the moment, whether you are like you've published books already or you're right at the beginning just thinking about writing a book, there is so much you're going to take from this conversation. It is always a delight to connect with Tara, so let's dive in. So Tara, welcome back to the Unbound Writers Club.
Yay, thank you for having me back.
Oh, always. And this certainly isn't your first rodeo with the Unbound Writers Club or birthing books.
No.
So I'm really interested to get into like what this particular book has been like the flavour of this particular book birthing journey. There's so much to kind of unpick around that. But I'm going to begin with a question that I always ask. And right now, at this point in your journey, I'm really curious to know, like, what makes you an unbound writer?
So where I'm at right now with this current book, just having been released into the world, I think it's letting each book be different. I think that's what the unbound part means to me. Because I even came into this book expecting it to unfold in a certain way based on the previous 4. But oh no, it had a totally different mind of its own and a different journey for me. And it wasn't what I expected at all, which I know we'll go into a bit. But that is what the unbound part is letting that book be what it needs to be and letting you have to go along for the ride with it.
Yeah.
And so really allowing that to unfold has been where I'm at with it now. And yeah, I guess it's that kind of curiosity, openness to what that might entail.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. It's interesting as you say that, because like reflecting back, you were the first author that I worked with who like moved from one book to another book. Like, so apart from my own experience with each book being different, like you really reflected back to me like, oh, like, you know, with the first Embodied and then Embodied Business. So you were like, oh, how different each one could be. So I really appreciate that about you, because that really helped me to land something around my own like personal processes and also holding space for others.
Yeah, absolutely. And it amazes me that a 5th could be different, honestly. Like, how many different ways are there to write a book?
Many.
There are. Oh, yeah.
Just try it and see. I mean, I don't know. You're ahead of me now in terms of number of books. So.
Oh my goodness. No, I know that there are so many. I guess when you're living them, because that's what an unbound book is, an embodied book. And of course, all of mine carry the bloody word embodied in the title. So it's like the invitation is to embody them.
What were you thinking, honestly?
I don't know. I wouldn't do it again.
Be careful what you name your book.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big learning for me. But yeah, definitely.
I want to go back and ask you, like, how did you get started with this book, Embodied Power? Before we do that, though, I've just, this is just coming up for me as we're speaking. Like when you wrote that very first book, Embodied, did you have a sense that it would be part of a series of
Oh,
books?
God.
No,
Absolutely not.
no.
No, 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 not even remotely. I
Yeah,
honestly thought it would be a bit of a business book for my first business,
yeah.
which it didn't turn out to be. But it just unfolded. It was
Amazing.
quite magical, really,
Yeah,
looking back. Mm.
yeah. Really magical to witness as well. So, you've written the other books in the Embodied series, and it came to this one, which embodied power, but it wasn't that right
But
from the beginning.
no.
So, how did that process unfold? How did you know, okay, there's another book and this is what the next one wants to be?
So, as you know, it started with the title Embodied Money.
Mm,
And I think it was a bit sort of both ego and soul kind of combined in the fact that I knew from writing the previous embodied books, wealth creation, business, etc., that I had to live them. And it shifts something for me on a level that is, you have to live it and become it. And I wanted that with money. So there was the ego part going on there.
yeah.
But also I feel that this was something I had to go into for myself. It was time to really dive deeper in an embodied way, of course. And I could feel the book coming. It was definitely something with money, what that meant, like really going into money. And so, yeah, I knew that there was something basically. And so I went with it. And that's what I signed up to, write
Yep.
Embodied Money just years ago now. But of course, that journey wasn't quite what I expected. And it only just changed to Embodied Power literally as I was writing it. When I could feel that the words were formed, it was there. It was like wanting to be birthed 18 months later. And literally at the last minute, it was like, no, it's always been about power. Like that's what the whole journey had been with money, the details are the details, but it was about power, with money being a piece of that, and love, magic, and leadership, which were the other kind of threads woven within that I've been living, breathing in my writing, through my embodiment, and through my business. And so it came super quickly, but it had always been there. But I had to start with it as money to take me on a journey that I wouldn't have done, I think, if I had started with power.
Yes.
There was a lot of living and embodying and doing and being and creating to get into and unfold before the book could actually come through. Yeah.
So that was the doorway, really, for you to go on a journey. You thought you were going on a journey with money, but really it was with power.
Basically. Yeah. I mean, money was a big part, but yes. Definitely.
Yeah. It feels like you were given something really tangible to work with, like a tangible way to work with this. Yeah.
It's interesting because I think if I had been given power, I would have probably written the book a lot quicker, and it would not be the book that it wouldn't have the power, in all honesty,
exactly,
that I feel like today because of the journey I had to go on and, that it took me on.
Yeah.
With money. Yeah.
So how did you know, like you talk about, it became clear that it was embodied power rather than embodied money. How did that become clear for you? Like, how do you receive, like, it's different for everyone, but this new, like, pretty major piece of clarity, how did that drop in for you?
I mean, it was through connecting with the soul of it, the energy of it, and going deep into the earth with it, which is where I'd always felt it connecting me, like right at the core, even beyond the core. Yeah. And it was like, just because like money is a piece of this, but I just kept getting the words love, leadership, magic. And those are the things that had always been a part of it, and they all, it's like, and it just suddenly just, like insight hits you. What if it's just power and those are threads? Could it be that simple? Have I been like making this complicated all along? Is it really that simple? Yeah. And it was. And then, as I look back over all my collected notes and journaling and voice notes and paintings and all the other pieces that have been, I've been creating throughout the process, it was so clear. I mean, I even wrote, I think in my journal at one point, embodied money is embodied power.
Wow.
That was like a year and a bit ago. And I was like, I've been there all along. It's just been ignoring that, but yeah.
Oh, I love that. And thank you for sharing it because, I think sometimes we begin with a book and we think we know what it is. Even if we're in this place of like openness and like, I'm just going to kind of allow it to take the form that it wants to take. Amazing. But, we're pretty clear. And then something can drop in that completely like sideswipes us. It's like, what? And then you have a choice, don't you? You can go with it or not. I mean, to be honest,
Do we
It's not
really?
really a choice, is it?
We wanted to, but yeah, we don't. We know we don't really have a
No,
choice. Not
exactly.
when we're unbound.
No, exactly. We can't force it to take a direction that, the book doesn't want to go in. But what was that like for you to realize that?
I guess there was a little part of me that felt a bit of a failure for not being able to write Embodied Money, because
Mm,
I felt like I should have got this. I wanted to figure this out for myself. Like,
mm,
I wanted to have the book that kind of got money and really shifted everything with money in the way that, I wanted it to.
yeah,
And there was a little bit of a grieving for that, but also a deeper knowing of, what, it's still a part of it. And actually, it powers everything. It's so much more. And
yeah,
money is a piece, and that's okay. And yeah, and I was also approaching money from a different angle, like more of a cyclical approach to money. And
yeah,
that's sort of how I talk about it a bit in the book. And that felt like a change anyway. And yeah, so it was interesting, but there was a little grieving for what I thought it was. Not a
yeah,
lot, but a
yeah,
little.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, thank you for speaking to that.
Mm.
The grief that can show up at different stages of our process and letting go of an idea in the form that we imagined it was going to take. Like there can be an element of grief there. And also, once our books are complete and going out into the world, it can feel like a sense of loss, especially when we were journeying with them for a
Oh yeah.
while. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this one, it's leaving very slowly. It really doesn't want to. I question if that's me or it, or yeah, am I not really letting it leave me yet? But
Mm,
it's been a
yeah.
lot slower than the other ones, in making its way into the world. Yeah.
Interesting. So
Mhm.
interesting. So each book is different, and I wonder if there was any particular like fear or doubt or resistance that came up around this particular book throughout the journey.
Honestly, I think with the writing part, not really, because of having done so many now.
Yeah.
The thing that did surprise me was it wasn't a lot of writing actually for most of
Mm.
the journey. This wasn't really a fear or doubt necessarily, but
Yeah.
it was actually painting. It was being. It was taking myself on energetic journeys into my chakras and living with it much more like the lived experience of it than the other books. And I had so many different pieces which I alluded to, voice notes and paintings, and I mean I did journal a lot, but yeah, all the other pieces that made it. I think my biggest fear doubt was money itself
Mm.
when I started.
Yeah.
Who am I to do this with money? I haven't got this shit figured out.
Yeah.
And like the authority part, like who would want to read a book by me on money? Maybe I should write a book on how not to, make money, etc. Honestly,
Maybe
that
he
came up
doesn't.
time. So those are more the things, like it was the imposter syndrome, I think, around the topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. And probably why it took me longer as well, but in the perfect way at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. There is, there can be this belief for a lot of authors, in a lot of different areas around, oh, I need to be more of an expert before I write this. But, as you've shown with each of your book, you get to go on a journey with whatever you're writing about as you're writing it, which is so, so powerful. I mean, I often talk about you, Tara, because like, you are one of our founding authors at the Unbound Press. Like you stepped into my very first writing mastermind back in 2018. And like you've written this whole series of books for the past 7 years and an
Yeah.
oracle card deck which I use pretty much daily,
Yeah.
so people could look at you from the outside and go, oh, how on earth does she do it? I'm sure I've asked you this before, but what I also see in you is somebody like you do not rush your process. Like you say with this book, it's been bubbling for a good couple of years. So my question is like, how do you navigate that, leaving, like allowing yourself to live your book, but also like birthing them to have birthed these books into the world, like over the past, well, really 6 years, because Embodied came out in 2019, didn't it? The first one.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't even know how to answer that, to
No.
be honest. It just happened.
Tell us the answer.
Yeah. There's a couple things. One thing you said in the very beginning, I think, which has stuck with me is, there's always space for another book.
Yes.
That's helpful, beyond helpful, because you could stay with a book for so long and, keep it and play with it and update it and live it. And oh my
Totally.
goodness. But I'm also a little bit impatient, and I think I know we have a similarity here. When
Definitely.
I'm done with something, I'm like, I just need to get this shit done.
I know.
I'm moving on. I get bored quite quickly, and I have I need interest in sparking and imaginative things, and I need to create. So
Yeah.
when I feel a book's energy is being ready, okay, we're done. Let's do this and move on.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah.
I think to an extent, not always, but that's helped me to complete things.
Yeah.
I definitely have. And I want to move on. And I also have I can't leave things unfinished really, unless they're meant to be.
Yes.
Obviously weren't. So I think that's helped me.
Yeah.
Those are two things.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I definitely think once the first one's done, it's a lot easier. And I know we've talked about this before, that kind of paves the way and you know what it's like. And something does open and shift and like, okay, I can do this, done it before. And then you just do it.
Definitely. Yeah. That completion. And each time it's like, oh, and you like, and noticing how each one feels different as it's completed and goes into like each one activates like a new level, a new layer. So it's like, oh, I wonder what this one's going to do. Yeah.
Well, that's it. And I think that's part of it because, even with each of them, I felt offerings and programs and things that were going to grow in my business. And that's a huge piece for me. So I need to get on with that too. I want to create that. So the book, I can't do all of it at once. It's too much to hold. So the book has its time and place. And, it's as you always say again, which I love, the book is just the beginning and it creates that foundation to then create more. So, but it has to be complete as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these books, it could have been like one big embodied book, I guess, couldn't it? Writing about the different thing if you'd let it be. But actually, to have like, each of these volumes of the Embodied series, like for me as a reader, feels so much more potent, like, because I can pick, whichever one off the shelf that I'm most needing at a particular time. So, yeah. Thank you for that.
I think they've also mirrored my own growth, as well, my own journey. And they've been integral to it. Of course, they fed each other. And so, as I've gone through something, a book's been written almost to go with it. And then I move on to the next thing, and not the next thing, but I've evolved in my journey a little bit. And that shifts. So,
Totally. So, what is next for you? If you want to share.
This has been bubbling for over a year, and it was only like once Embodied Power was finished, and I think it was a big part of embodying power, my own power, and stepping into that more, that identity was to open to the I say possibility, but it's not possibility, my own sort of publishing company as well, which is definitely something that is opening very slowly. But there's definitely that piece around love, the creative process like you. It just gives me so much life, and supporting others through that as well to create. I do it in my business with offerings and things, but then books as well just feels like, and Oracle decks actually feels like such a gift to be able to do that and bring that into the world now as well. So that's the main thing that is bubbling right now.
Very, very excited. I mean, as soon as you let me know, I was like, oh yeah, it's always been part of my dream that like different publishing companies, imprints could like come through the Unbound community, because, there's different flavors of books and there's different flavors of the way of publishing. Like each person with their own essence brings something different to it. So I'm so excited to see what this becomes. Global Soul Publishing, that's what it's called.
Global Soul Press.
Press, sorry.
Well, it's still landing, so it's still evolving as well. Like it was very clear that it has to come out. But, as you know, like I said, they each have their own flavor, and I'm, because of Embodied Power being so consuming and in a great way, I still haven't even had space to feel into that yet, like, and to see what it is and how it wants to start its journey. And that feels exciting as well, like to feel into what that is. But I know there's a lot of color. That's all I get right now. There's loads of color.
Amazing.
What that means.
Well, I'm really excited to see what it evolves into. Like a sister for the Unbound Press.
It's like it's a little branch coming off the Unbound Press, because it's rooted in the Unbound Press 100%.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm not claiming it.
No,
it's your thing. It's your creation. I want to be careful not to do that. But it's so beautiful, and like I said, we'll watch this space and see. I mean, to be honest, it feels like the Unbound Press, well, it's the nature of anything new, isn't it? It can start quite slowly and like really, putting the roots down, and then all of a sudden it kind of is like, right, off it goes. So we'll see.
We'll see. Exactly. Give me some time. Give me some space.
Exactly. Take your time. Take your time. I could always talk to you all day about, like, there's so many layers to your process and the magic you're creating in the world. But for those listening who maybe are earlier on in the journey and maybe just feeling the call to write a book, maybe they've started, but they're finding their way. Is there one piece of advice in particular you'd give to someone who is just starting out?
Oh my goodness. Do it. Just commit and do it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Because you just don't, there's nothing you can say beyond that. Commit and let that take you on the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say yes. Say yes.
Say yes. Say yes.
Yeah. And look where you could be, like, 5 books out in the world, publishing company, Oracle card deck.
Wow. That blows me away. Like, I'm so grateful for you and the Unbound Press, Nicola. Oh my goodness, that you were around to sort of also just to offer the space to do things in your way and not even know what it means, but knowing it's not the conventional, traditional way of publishing and writing. Just allowing that and holding that space has been liberating beyond belief. So so beautiful.
Well, it needed the right people to step in, like, for me to be able to make sense of what it wanted to be. So I am just as grateful to you because particularly our partnership has really supported me in really tuning into and refining, okay, how what is this approach, how do I want to hold space? So you have been like pivotal in that, so thank you so much.
Honored. I love it. Thank you.
And let's see where the journey continues to. Like I said, really, really excited to find out. For those who are listening and want to stay in touch, stay connected, and find out more about, any new books that you write and also the publishing side, what's the best way for them to do that, Tara?
Instagram is probably the best. I am Tara Jackson.
Yeah.
And everything is connected there as well. So
perfect.
That's the main hub.
Amazing. We'll make sure the link to that is in the show notes. Thank you so much, Tara. I always love it when we come together and get to have a chat. This is going to be our last podcast episode of 2025, which feels perfect as well.
Oh, I feel a bit emotional when you saying that.
I know, me too.
Wow. It's like a lot of endings but openings as well. It's
it does feel, and how because that wasn't particularly planned, so it's just unfolded perfectly.
Oh, I'm honoured. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.